Well, yeah, they don't want to see that shit.
Where did they see it? Did they go to a show?
First of all, this is a radio show. Stop swearing, okay, you bumbling fool. And second of all,
I didn't swear.
Yes, you did.
Cuss all the time.
Yes,
so
no. You're not going to say.
Yeah,
no.
you can. It's
okay.
a radio show.
Number two.
Okay. You were asking the guy about, how the transgender community has affected him personally. I want to know, how has Donald Trump affected you personally?
Sure.
Me?
In a negative way. You're making money off of him.
Sure. So are you going to let me answer, or are you going to answer for me? Can I answer your question?
Well, I'm asking.
Okay, thank you, because you tried to answer it for me. I made money way before Donald Trump became president. So first of all, how has it affected me in a negative fashion? Well, I've had death threats. And the reason why I've had death threats, and by the way, I've filed police reports about this, is because I speak out against Donald Trump. I did political talk radio before Donald Trump. I never got any death threats. That's number one. Number two, the biggest tax breaks for the top 1% in this country. My taxes haven't gone down. When Joe Biden was president of the United States, I have diabetics in my family. You see, Plan B and Plan D was covered under Joe Biden, which means millions of more Americans were able to get their insulin capped at $35. Donald Trump signed an executive order on day one, going back to his policy where millions of Americans don't have access to insulin capped at $35. Now, I just named you several very key important points, and I will also say on a daily basis, we are more divided in this country than we've been in my lifetime, both racially and politically. There's a lot of hatred out there. There's a lot of vileness out there. So you can go ahead and say, well, Donald Trump became president. He makes you all this money. Dude, I've been doing radio for 22 years. I don't need Donald Trump as president of the United States. I cover the news for a living. That's what I do. So I just named you several things that have affected me directly because Donald Trump is president of the United States. So there you go, sir. I answered your question. Now tell me, how has Donald Trump helped you in the last 6 or 7 months?
Tax breaks. And
tax breaks. Okay, hold on. What tax breaks are you referring to? And how much money do you make per year, sir?
Well, I make enough. We are
No. If I'm going to answer your question, I need to know exactly how much money you make every year. Do you make $100,000 a year? Do you make over $400,000 a year? Do you make over $1 million a year?
If you made over $1 million, you got a tax break. That's the point.
How much money do you make every year?
We're going to be screwed this year because of his stupid tariffs on soybeans. But yes,
there you go.
Absolutely,
tariffs are a tax. There you go.
Okay, well,
you made our point for us.
I'm glad you made our point for us, sir. So there are a lot of farmers out there that are losing their jobs.
Tariffs are absolutely a tax.
So there you go. You found something that Donald Trump actually has hurt you on. Can you name me a couple things how he's helped you in the last 6 months, policy-wise? Because I answered your question.
Yeah, make your point.
I think you would agree, sir. I answered your question respectfully, and I said, here are 3 or 4 things that Donald Trump has done and implemented that have affected me personally. Name me 3 or 4 things that he's done that have helped you in the last 6 or 7 months, policy-wise. I'm open ears, sir.
Well, he has made the country that I fought for not look so weak by.
So he made it okay to hate people. You agree with that?
That I used to vote left, and the weakness on that side is
okay.
pathetic.
So be specific. You didn't name me a policy. You made generalizations in saying that he made us stronger. How did he make us stronger? What policy?
He made it okay to hate.
Well, tell me what policy. What has he done specifically? I don't want generalizations because you MAGA people always call up with generalizations. Well, he made us stronger.
Well, anyone can do that.
He made America great again. Yeah. That's not an answer, sir. Be specific.
You guys do the same thing over on your side.
No, Brian was very specific.
Ask me any question and I will give you directly what Democrats policy-wise have done to help me.
Brian was very specific.
Joe Biden, the Chips and Science Act, for example, the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Joe Biden,
I gave you.
No, you didn't.
Those are policies. Those were made law.
These are laws that were put. You can laugh like Tucker Carlson, or you could answer my question.
You want to do it? You want to talk about Stormy all the time, you weirdo creep?
Okay, so you
get mad.
Hold on, sir.
No, I'm asking you.
No, you're not.
Pipe me down.
Sir, I'm asking you to name specific policies. Try to focus for a moment, sir. I just named you more policies that I liked under Joe Biden and the Democrats. I answered your question. I gave you 3 or 4 things how Donald Trump has affected me negatively. I want you to answer the question and name me several policies, not generalizations. He's making America great again.
Or laws.
Give me some policies that Donald Trump has implemented that have helped you. Go.
He has slowed down the border.
He's slowed down
because we all know there is
transgender,
man and woman, and that is it.
So what has he done policy-wise that has helped you, and how do transgenders affect your life negatively? What has he done policy-wise?
because this is a country I live in, and this is crazy. We don't have.
I think you're
a middle
crazy.
person.
That's an
You have
opinion.
So you're saying it's
I am.
okay
Actually, I
for
am.
men to be dressed
I am.
and not identify themselves and throw ladies
That's
and
different.
grandmothers
That's
on the
different than
ground.
a
So you
transgender.
agree that he should have a private military force going around the country asking people to show their papers and their IDs, and if they speak Spanish, it's okay to stop them. You're okay with that?
They stop that. They don't do that.
That's not true.
What are you talking about? They see
That's
now
not true.
he's dealing
He
in
doesn't know what
fake
he's talking
news.
about. He doesn't know what he's
Now
talking
you're
about.
dealing in fake news, and you're
Yeah, that's what you always
What
say. You don't know
transgender?
what you're dealing with.
Okay,
It's
so
absolutely
let's
a
go
fact.
with this. Hold on a second. Let's back up a second. You mentioned transgenders. Now I said, how has it affected you in a positive way? What policy has Donald Trump implemented when it comes to transgenders that has positively affect you in your life? Because that was the question. How is it affecting you positively? Because you asked me, how's Donald Trump affected me negatively? I gave you specific examples. So tell me what Donald Trump did with transgenders.
not hyperbole.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Because we have children, and
You have
we
children.
live in a blue city,
Gotcha. You have
and
children.
they don't need to be around that kind of weirdness.
Okay, so
Are they
I mean,
around that
they know
weirdness? Are you
there's a
saying the
man or
kids are
woman.
around that?
So your kids, you're claiming your kids are around
They have-
transgenders. Is that what you're saying? And it affects them in a negative way?
Well, yeah, they don't want to see that shit.
Where did they
Okay,
see it? Did
first
they
of
go to
all-
a show?
First of all, this is a radio show. Stop swearing, okay, you bumbling fool. And second of all,
I
you're,
didn't swear.
yes, you did.
cuss all the time.
yes,
so
you. No. You're not going to say.
Yeah,
No.
you can. It's
Okay,
a radio show.
Number two, you're claiming that you have kids. You might not even have them. So tell me what Donald Trump implemented policy-wise that would lead you to believe that your kids in school are not around transgenders anymore. What policy is that, sir?
And you don't know nothing.
Sir, answer my
You don't
question.
know nothing.
Pot him down again.
He
Sir,
can't answer.
sir,
He
I'm
can't.
asking. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. Hold on. You claimed that Donald Trump's policy has made it better for your kids to not be around transgenders. Can you please tell me what policy Donald Trump put in place? He hung up the phone. What a shocker.
See, that's
Because
what they do. They
here's
call
why.
names, they get frustrated, and then they
Here's
hang up.
why. Here's why. There is no policy that Donald Trump has put in place that would stop transgenders from going to school. That guy has no idea what he's talking about, and he couldn't name one policy that has helped him. In turn, I named multiple policies under the Trump administration that have affected me negatively.
He said his children were around transgenders. He said, my children are. I was going to ask him, did you go to a show? Did you bring him to a. I mean, where? Where did this happen?
Yeah, so there's no policy put in place that Donald Trump put in there that would stop transgenders from going to school, allegedly being around his kids. Number two, I want to be very clear on this. This is what usually happens when these fools call in.
Yep.
They hung up the phone. I did not hang up on him because he couldn't answer the question.
Brian, you gave him multiple chances. You gave him open-ended questions and many chances. And this is what they don't understand is that they have a chance. You're saying, call in, make your point, have an argument with me, have a debate with me, make your point. You asked him multiple
Hey,
times,
Leonard,
and he couldn't.
Leonard, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, Leonard.
Well, they're ruining this country.
It's so incredible
He-
how these cyclops.
He sounds like a guy that was given the right to hate, and he's happy about it. That's what he sounded like to me.
just couldn't answer one of my questions. By the way,
I'm
anybody-
surprised he didn't say, well, I'll tell you what.
By the way, anybody can call into this show, as you saw, and ask me a question, and I will answer it specifically. I can give you policies, and I can give you direct examples of how Donald Trump has negatively affected my life. But then when the shoe is turned on the other foot, and I ask him to answer a question about what policies have helped him, he couldn't name anything. All he said was transgenders.
They're not prepared to debate when
Yeah.
they call. They just call in with
Well,
stupid comments.
it's
And
not
I
that-
love the fact that you
Leonard,
say,
I don't think, Leonard, that they're not prepared to debate. I don't think they have the mental capacity or the intelligence to be able to do so. That's my
well, they
personal
were smart
opinion.
enough to dial a phone.
Well, he was smart enough to dial
and
in.
he gave his name. We assume he gave his name.
I'm not sure you have to be smart to dial in a phone, but if you want me to give him credit for
I'm
that,
trying to be positive. He did call in. He spoke in, well, I guess I can't say full sentences because they were mostly short sentences, but that's okay.
That's true.
I speak in short
Yeah,
sentences
yeah.
sometimes.
Thank you, sir, for proving what a nitwit you are. And then he hangs up the phone. What an imbecile. X, you're an imbecile. You want to talk about Lincoln Riley? Why don't we talk about all the people who sadly lost their lives under the Donald Trump administration?
As Richard Nixon said, like, there's a few things that Donald Trump has actually accomplished. The Lincoln Riley Act in the border, he's accomplished that one.
Okay, so let's hold on. I'll let you finish, but I don't want you to list like 5 things because then I'm going to forget. Okay, so let's try to go one at a time. He's done a good job with the border. Okay, so let's talk about immigration policy, because that I would assume that's what you're talking about when it comes to the border and immigration. Are you okay? And I've asked people this question before, because this is part of immigration policy, with agents across the country not identifying themselves, arresting people that are citizens, arresting people that are not breaking the law. Are you okay with people getting tackled and arrested that are seeking asylum outside of courtrooms? That's part of his immigration policy. Are you okay with that?
What's the law? What's the law? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the law is
talking about Lincoln Riley Act.
Okay, hold on. You mentioned immigration, not me. You brought up the word immigration, not me. Okay, so we'll get to Lincoln Riley in a moment. Okay, let's talk about immigration, and then I'm happy to talk about Lincoln Riley. Are you okay with ICE agents not identifying themselves across the country, arresting citizens in some cases for doing absolutely nothing wrong, arresting people outside of courtrooms, sending people to El Salvador prisons and high maximum security prisons where they weren't even born in their country of origin, people that are non-violent criminals? Are you okay with that?
If the country's refusing to take them in and stuff like that, they have
that is not what they have done. The people, many of whom were sent to an El Salvador prison, they were not offered to be sent to the country of their origin. So what you're saying is not.
It's only Abigail Garcia, and that one is
Where's Garcia from? Where's Garcia from? Where's Garcia from?
I haven't researched that one.
So why are you bringing up his name then? I'm trying to make up a point. Garcia was. Why are you bringing up his name? I just told you that people are being deported to their countries where they're not from, some high maximum securities like El Salvador. Garcia is one of them. Are you okay with non-violent criminals, people that have been not in this country legally, which is, by the way, not a felony? Are you okay with them being sent to high? Right. I understand it's
illegal.
Okay. Okay. So let me phrase it.
You would have a different mind.
Okay. Let me. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. My opinions wouldn't change one iota. No, I wouldn't. You have no idea what you're talking about. All right. Why don't you answer my question? Are you okay with somebody who commits a misdemeanor being sent to a high maximum security prison? Are you okay with that? Answer the question. Why won't you answer? Will you please answer
your question?
No, you haven't. Yes, it's a yes or no answer. Are you okay with people that have never committed a violent crime in their life, misdemeanors, sent to high maximum security prisons that are not even the country of their origin? Yes or no? Yes or no? Stop wasting. I didn't ask you about the worst people. It's a yes.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're going to answer my question. No. This is what I'm saying. You're going to answer my. No, stop talking.
No, I'm not.
X, stop talking. X, stop talking. You're going to answer my question, yes or no, and then I'm happy to talk to you about Lincoln Riley. You're the one who brought up immigration. You said you're happy with his immigration policy. So my question to you is, and now I'm asking it for an 8th time, it's a yes or no answer. Are you okay?
Yes or no answer.
I need you to be quiet, and I need you to answer. Are you okay with non-violent criminals who've never been convicted of a crime in their... Will you be quiet? Will you be quiet? Yes, it is. 60% of the people, including... You have no idea what you're talking about, and you keep talking. Will you please listen? Over 60% of the people that were sent to the El Salvador prison are non-violent criminals. Over 60% of people that are being sent to other countries that are being deported are non-violent criminals. I will ask you the same question again for the 10th time.
They've had a choice to go home.
I'm not asking you if they had a choice to go home. Listen to my question as I ask it for an 11th time.
It's a waste of time. I'm saying.
No, I think you're a waste of time. Pot him down again. You're the one who brought up immigration. You're driving my producer nuts, and you're driving me nuts because you won't answer a basic question. I'm going to give you, and then he hangs up the phone. What an imbecile. X, you're an imbecile. You want to talk about Lincoln Riley? Why don't we talk about all the people who sadly lost their lives under the Donald Trump administration first go around? But you don't want to talk about them. You want to talk about Lincoln Riley. Yes, I think it's horrible when anybody is the victim of a crime that is an innocent person. Lincoln Riley sadly was one of them. But that doesn't mean we treat all undocumented immigrants like garbage. That doesn't mean we treat all undocumented immigrants like animals. So you, just like Donald Trump, believe in the nonsense that when somebody brings up Lincoln Riley, you want to paint the picture that all undocumented immigrants are criminals that are going to kidnap your kids. That's not the case. So your question is irrelevant. I don't condone any violence from anybody. And if you're a violent criminal, yes, I hope you are deported. But you wouldn't answer my question because you know it's wrong. If you're a nonviolent criminal, you should not be sent to high maximum security prisons. Everybody has the right to due process. But the reason why you won't answer that question is because you're an imbecile and you're a waste of my time. X, you're a waste of my time. And if one person commits a heinous crime, they like to paint all people that are undocumented in this country as murderers. And guess what? I refuse to do that because it's a joke. I don't know why you hung up the phone, X, because I think that could have been a very good. I really wanted to figure out what Donald Trump has done so well.
You know, what I wanted to ask you was, like, you know, normally the party that's in power, like, you know, ends up doing pretty bad in the midterm. So what I wanted to ask you was, if that's the case, like, you know, why is, like, you know, when I'm looking at data and research, like, you know, you could check it up too, like, you know, if you want, you could fact check me, like, you know, tomorrow or any other day. Why is the Pennsylvania registration, why is, like, Arizona registration, like 430,000, like, you know, extra registered Republicans, like, you know, what I'm really saying is, like, Arizona, Pennsylvania, why is the GOP having a field day when it comes to registration?
Why is the GOP having a field day when it comes to registration? What do you mean by that?
Like, what I'm saying is, like, you know, check, like, you know, check it out. Like, Arizona has, like, almost 400,000 extra Republican registered now. Like, you know, Arizona's, like, you know, it's not even like, it's like kind of like a lean R state now. Like, and Pennsylvania is, like, you know, shifting more to the right too. Like, you know, registration. Like, you know, you can check it in 2025. Like, you know, they have the registration.
I can't. So X, I can't speak to why, you know, a certain number of Republicans or Democrats are registering in certain states. I can tell you that Donald Trump certainly has gotten a lot more people involved in politics. I would say a lot of the wrong people. I would use Charlie Kirk as an example of that as well. And younger people getting brainwashed by his hateful rhetoric that he used. That's the only thing I can really speak to that, is that Donald Trump has gotten a lot more people involved in politics that normally were not involved. He sees it more as a reality show. More than anything else, and he cares about ratings, like, and all this other stuff. But
what I could tell you is, for, like, in the 2028, like, you know, when it comes to, like, election time and stuff like that, what I'm saying is, like, you know, even if, like, you know, for example, if a president seems like it's out of reach and it's going to be MAGA, like, you know, we could at least, like, you know, slow the agenda down if you win the midterms. Like, for example, like, you know, win a House majority and get a divided.
You think Republicans are going to win the midterms? You think they'll have a good midterm? Is that what you think?
Like, you know, based on registration. And
well, let's forget about, okay, but let's forget about registration for a moment. Like, let's look at the first 7-8 months of Donald Trump's term. What has he done good?
What I'm saying is, like so far, things are just getting rougher and rougher, and things are getting more expensive. But of course,
but X, slow down.
Hold on. Down to Virginia and New Jersey, like,
X, hold on. X, let's try to slow down. X, let's try to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
In the first 7 or 8 months of Donald Trump's administration, what has he done well?
What has he done good? Like, you know, like, the only one of the few bills that I actually agree with is the Lincoln Riley Act.
I'm sorry, the what? Can you repeat that?
The Lincoln Riley Act.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. And obviously we agree on this. Obviously anybody, whether you're undocumented or not, anybody who commits a heinous crime like that should be put away for the rest of their life. And it's horrible. And we don't want people
the Lincoln Riley, one bipartisan support. That would be one bipartisan.
Well, I think it's a pretty logical thing, and both sides should support that. But why is it that when Donald Trump was president first go around, he didn't talk about people who were brutal victims of crimes by undocumented immigrants? I'm just curious, because you do understand that did happen under Donald Trump's first administration, right? And he hangs up the phone. Okay. Thank you for the call, X. I appreciate it. So you want to talk about the Lincoln Riley Act, and you can tell me that that's the first thing that comes to mind. By the way, if you're an American citizen, there's a better chance that you could be the victim of a crime from an American citizen than you do from somebody that is an undocumented immigrant. And no, I'm not too worried about overwhelming majority of people that are in this country that are undocumented. They want a better life for themselves and their families. And if one person commits a heinous crime, they like to paint all people that are undocumented in this country as murderers. And guess what? I refuse to do that because it's a joke. I don't know why you hung up the phone, X, because I think that could have been a very good. I really wanted to figure out what Donald Trump has done so well that you think that the midterms are going to go so well for Republicans, because I couldn't disagree with you more on that one.